Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of the Robbcast, a podcast affiliated with the Emo Kids Anonymous Network. This is the first one, and it's going to be special because I got a very special guest here, okay? You might recognize him from adult films. You might recognize him from Up for the Count. You might recognize him from fucking Flippin' Your Boigas. Either way, you might recognize him from running marathons. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian's Street Team is here.
Woof. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Mr. Maple Dick. Rob Maple Dick. The Rob Maple Dick.
Yeah, you gave me that name, and it's still on IMDb to this day. Like, that's one of my...
That's awesome.
You provided me with, like, one of my greatest life achievements, where it's like, I can always pull that out and be like, I was in a movie one time. You can look it up.
Yeah, I got a little list on IMDb of some flicks
Right?
I've been
It's
in.
there, and it's official.
It's one of your credits.
And it's a real movie. It's shot with real cameras. It's not, yeah.
It was there was lights and everything. Lights. I got lights on everywhere right now. It's like
Beautiful.
you take some of those things you learned there, and you just take them with you for your whole life.
Yeah, you learn. That's what I say. You learn some things from the industry. So
yeah.
I meet you in about, let's say, late 2008. I meet you.
That sounds right.
We meet through the faction. Now, can you explain to these people on the internet what the faction is and how you kind of found your way into this? Because this is
So the faction,
friends all at the same time.
Yeah, the faction was. I was thinking about this the other day. It was like a crew of a bunch of the local scene bands, like pop punk bands, general pop punk bands, big umbrella term for that. And then it was just like a couple guys. It was Ernie. Ernie was like the main driver of it, I remember. And then like
Ernie
Sean,
Ashwood.
yeah, Ernie Ashwood, and then Sean also was a big Sean Tully was like he was like a big like those two. I feel like those two were like there was no leader of this like crew. It was very like we're just gonna be like a bunch of scene bands and we're gonna promote. It was like it was gonna be like this whole thing where it was like we're gonna be a big group, a team, and like a crew, and it's gonna be a faction. It was like kind of nerdy because everybody was fucking nerds too.
Yeah,
they still are.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, it'll be like some D&D shit, but like real like so it was an odd group of friends. It was like a Facebook group, but in real life.
It was in real life. It was kind of under the idea was like this union thing, but we didn't really work together to make things happen besides like booking shows.
And two, it was really just like a time where we're just like honestly, it just became a part of a time to hang out with all the guys you were friends with in these bands and not at a show. So we were just like, so that's what I liked about it, because it was just generally like just talking. It was like it was the embryo stages of like a lot of stuff you see commonplace on the internet now is like guys self-help and networking.
It's kind of like, I was gonna say, it was like a networking meeting, really, if anything.
It really was, and then we would like jam, and then we would like just hang out and just like talk shit, and it was and there were some shows booked out of it,
a few,
and I think that's probably all, other than the hangs. There was no actual like we didn't really do anything really except just hang out. Like in theory, it was rad, but like we didn't actually do anything with it. It was just kind of like and we just hung out at the or whatever in El Cajon.
Channel 1225 was the venue name. So
that's right.
I started playing shows in San Diego months before that. I joined this band, the Gulag Carnies, with these guys on Craigslist, and I hated it. But I didn't have any friends in San Diego at all. And it's like I find these guys, and there's like the guitar guy with his pedal board, and the bass guy who thinks he's Flea, and like nice guys, but it's like this isn't my scene. They're in their mid-20s, like I'm a pop punker, this and that. And I kind of started like hearing like figuring out who the bands were, and then it was like there's this thing, the faction. It was like I need to be a part of that. And I get the same vibe from you. We're the same thing where it's kind of just like, okay, this is the group. I need to push myself into that group. Like those are the guys to hang out with.
Yeah, and that is definitely like, yeah, because I remember that other band you were in, and I was like, you tell me about it, and I'd be like,
Right? No, I hate and like as soon I'm like these guys are my friends, and as soon as I went to one faction meeting, and literally to this day, like 80% of my adult friends all came from this one meeting. Like I was texting Ilya the other day, I talked to Mark and
That's
Justin all the time.
I just did. Yeah, I did. I hung out with Sean last month. We just did I did the compilation.
Oh, you're
The
on the new one?
Yeah, on the '80s one. We did an '80s song. So up
Can
for
we
the
get? Are we gonna
counts.
get a? Are we gonna get a reveal here? What did you do?
Oh, we did. Yeah, we did. Anything. Chase and I.
Oh,
It's
sick,
it is, dude. It is so like
sick.
it is so sick. It's so good. It's so good. Like we did like a pretty cool. It's a cool version. I'm really excited about it. Like just like we just man it's very cool. It's a very cool vision. It's very like up for the count esque as far as like style of music and stuff, and it's got like a little bit like some like hardcorey breakdown part in there that like dude, we did some like, and Sean, like, because it's fun with Sean too.
Yeah, you did break stuff. Yeah, no,
I
like
did break
the
stuff with them.
break stuff is tight.
So fun. And so like we're like, so now like we did that before, so now we've always been comfortable and friends and stuff, but now like in the recording sense, we definitely know how to vibe off of each other. And so we got in there, and like this anything one is like, it's
God.
fucking good. It's good. It's like there's some, and at the end, dude, like the end, I just do like crazy like deathcore screams for fun. And
So
like yeah, it's great.
I made an entire album with Sean, and it was very much because like Sean, so like in the faction, Sean, yeah, Ernie and Sean were kind of like, but they were the grown ups. Like you were close to their age too,
Yeah, we're
but
all the same age, so it's like we're just the older, kind of like more, like Sean has always been the most like realistic, like
mature, intelligent,
mature.
logistical adults.
Yeah, like ever. I think Sean came out like, I give him a hard time about, like, as wild as he is, he's like so like in some regards, as far as like equipment goes, he's pretty wild. But like as far as like his attitude and as stuff goes, he's so like,
The most mild mannered. I know.
yeah,
I used to like we'd butt heads with Sean. I don't when I was in the new nostalgic with Mark, we had a big blow up with Sean because we were undercutting him and selling tickets to his fans, and him and Mark got in a big fight, and Mark like cursed him out. So we didn't talk for years. And I'd made a couple records up here with the Wild Young Hearts, and it was time to make another one, and we lost Justin, so it's gonna only be me on guitar, and I'm like, I can't do this. And I saw Sean post something, and I was basically like, I'm gonna go deal with Sean. He's gonna be dry as hell. He's gonna insult me, and he's gonna tell me he could like all these things. But it's like I need that. Sean
yeah,
is daddy. Like so we went there
yeah.
and like Sean, like I'd be in the booth singing, and he'd be like, "This sucks. You need to change that. You need to." And it's just like, all right, Sean, you're right. You are right. Let's do what you say. And he made everything great.
It's so great because like too, you'll think you're like, man, I nailed that one. And be like, okay, well, let's do it again. And they're like, right, but I just
Okay.
did it again. I just did it again. I
He's
don't
like,
want
no,
to do it
no.
again. No,
And it's
no.
so he's so dry and direct and just like bro, my son has autism, and when I learned about autism, Sean, something that came to mind. I'm like, I think Sean's got a little autism there. Like,
He's probably, yeah. I think I like as I think they say it's a well, it's a spectrum. So like, yeah, if there's a spectrum, then yeah, he's definitely
yeah,
got some of it.
Sean's
I
on there somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, I got some too, and it's fine. It's fine.
right.
I think you could be a obviously pretty functioning person of society, so it's like I ain't worried
Yeah,
about it.
no, Sean's awesome like that. Where it's just like he yeah. So I remember like going to those first faction meetings, and then I meet you, and you live in the same building, and we go
Oh,
to
that was fun.
yeah, you go because you lived in the same building as my bass player. Then my dad lived in that
That's
building
right.
too, and yeah,
Right,
you lived
right.
like right down the hall from him, and we started going to these parties at your house, and the amount of crazy parties you had at that studio apartment that was probably 300, 200 square feet or something.
Like this, like the little nook I'm in now is half of that apartment,
It was literally the
basically.
time, and we'd have 30 people crammed in there. Like,
on
I
the
can't even
on the
say that.
balcony, like, dude, I went to like a homegirl had a, like, this girl that was my, because I'm a chef now, so my this girl is a general manager at the spot I was at. She had a party at her apartment, I was like, oh, cool. I know that I used to live in that building. And then I get to her apartment. And I was like, I lived right there. And it was
I lived in
literally,
that one.
it was like across it was her next door. Like I could see into the apartment. I was like, if what, there's been some things that have happened
I
in
was
that
gonna say,
apartment.
like,
Yeah.
if we talk about the things that have happened in that apartment, this thing would YouTube will cancel it. But let me just say, I hope they pressure wash the shit out of that unit.
Yeah. It's definitely like I had a stripper pole in there in
Yeah,
lieu of a couch for a long
yeah. There
time.
was the
That
Paul. Yeah.
I had that thing for so many years, and I carried it to like I moved. It was heavy. It was a steel stage and like a wood
Oh yeah,
floor,
yeah. There
and
was
then
like
a
it was like a foot
pole.
riser. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a full unit, and then I had that thing forever. I finally like just left it. I think I left it at a warehouse in LA. Just like I can't have this no more. It's this thing. It doesn't make any sense. It's just the worst, most unfunctional piece of furniture that maybe three girls have ever danced on in any kind of like attractive manner. It was all dudes every
Yeah.
time. It was
Every
never
dude.
any
Yeah, every dude's
never
taking a
anybody.
swing on it. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
I took my Canadian buddy Lane there one time, and I remember he like broke your counter with his head and stuff like that. It's like these are small kids.
Oh, that's right. See, that's the thing. It's like I used to drink a lot too. So like I remember these things in spurts, these memories. I'm like, oh, that's right. We
Yeah,
did do that. We did do that. That's right. Okay.
yeah,
Well, you know.
I've smoked a lot of them away. The brain cells aren't there, but he actually I saw him about a year ago. He reminded me. He's like, remember we went to that? I'd never been anywhere like that. He was like, he put on a video of him, and I was like, yeah, that's
Oh
Brian.
my God. That's awesome. That's so good. That's so good. So good.
San Diego, we know each other through like we meet through the scene there, and very quickly like I mean you're the dude. Like you're at that point you didn't have up for the count yet. You were just kind of like the dude. Or you kind of had it going, but I think your Chase was in like the military still or something.
Yeah, we were both still in the Navy at that point. And he was just on the boat. So like he was still going out to sea and stuff like that. And we had
Okay.
been messing around with stuff. I think he was still in Washington at first. Because we were in a
Okay.
we were on the boat together in San Diego, or not in San Diego, in Seattle.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then when I moved down here, he had moved back down like a couple of years later. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I was like messing around with other bands and stuff like that, but really just being like a glorified roadie for most
Yeah.
of them. Like and then just hanging out, which was like
I think
most
there was a while there where our both of our roles in the scene were basically we were just like the party curators kind of thing because like your
yeah,
apartment would have parties. I moved into a new
your
place with just
house.
we'd have parties in our house in the back, and that's how like I made all the like Hunting and them would come over. And it's like Mark like the adult science guys, and it was like I have a home where you can drink at. Bring it
Yeah.
over. I'll party with you all night. You guys want to be friends? Come here. You're in the, like, let's hang out here.
Yeah, it was definitely yeah, but that was basically it. We're just like, hey, we're good time and we're available, so come on over.
Yeah, and at that time, nobody could afford like apartments. It was like we have places where we live. You could come here. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They and like most of those guys, like so many dudes, they were like not necessarily homeless on the streets per se, but they were definitely like
couch people.
couch surfing heroes of the scene. It's all
Very
over.
yeah. There was about four, yeah, like a Hutton and Ilya, like those guys across those bands, like they lived on our couches like for
Yeah.
weeks at a time regularly. I mean, you had your brother living on your couch. You like it
Yeah,
was
my brother. Yeah, exactly. Like that was the whole that all that stuff. It was just like nobody really like it was like a tribe. Like that's the best way to describe like the faction. It was just like kind of a tribe of like barely adults.
really
Like
it was, yeah,
most
because there was kids
yeah.
in the scene. There was high school bands, and I mean, like there was some like Play the
Yeah.
Fox, some younger bands. Like I was about 19. I was like the median age. Like there was 16, 17, 18 year olds in there up to about 25, 26. Like whatever
Yeah.
you and Sean would have been.
That was like yeah, we were like the oldest one that like sub 25. Just like
Yeah.
right around 25. And or like yeah, just about like 23 or so. So it was like young and so like a lot of us too, like some of us had jobs, some didn't, some guys had like some better parents than others and whatnot, and like so it was a very much a tribe of like 20, 30 or so, like just like dudes that were like, and then trying to be like Blink 182,
Yeah,
like
it was just like
everybody.
it was like a bunch of lost boys, and like we're all just like
Yeah.
kind of like trying to do the same thing, but like yeah, then we'd be booking shows again. But like at the end of the day, it was essentially like a fraternity almost, where it's like that we're all just
Right.
boys, we're all hanging out, we all go to the same things, and it was cool. It was very united. And like when I moved to LA, there was nothing like I've never experienced anything like that. It's a
Yeah,
shame.
I don't think they, yeah, like there's I think the hardcore scene in San Diego is actually kind of is is about as close to that I've seen. That's like the most, just seeing that lately has been the closest thing to anything that like what we had as far as like bands working
Yeah,
together.
I
It
think I think at some point around like the 2010 or so, like right around the time like Adult Science, all our faction bands kind of fell off. San Diego became like full on hardcore. I mean, it was kind of before there was Lower D and stuff like that, but from that point on, yeah, it was like we're hardcore bands.
Yeah, exactly. And like, which is still, I'm not like, I wear my
Yeah,
sanitary
yeah,
shirt. Like, it's not like my Britney Spears one is actually in the cleaners. So,
the ladies shirt. Yeah,
so like, I think it's, yeah, it definitely was always like present. And then there's older, like hardcore bands, like in a scene that's from like the 80s and 90s that is still like, you see old guys from that era every once in a
yeah,
while.
the
Uh,
Jehu era guys. Yeah,
The Jehu era guys, like that is like that's like the old, that's what guys are like, just a bit older than me, right?
yeah.
Like, and I wasn't like, I didn't go to high school down here, so
Uh,
it's not like I was in like the scene that way. But I just hear rumblings about it and stuff like that, and I think now the like the cooperative like music scene is in hardcore. It's not any, there's not like a, because then like there's pop punk guys bands, and there's like kind of that kind of hop in a little bit and like whatever, but it's like they're all hardcore bands or
yeah,
mosh
it doesn't.
or mosh music, or whatever the fuck you want to
It
label it
doesn't seem
as.
like
Yeah.
as much of like yeah like a like tight knit like I'll follow the lineups and the bands down there still, and it's not as much of like there's a united pop punk scene like there was when we had it, but the
Right.
hardcore metalcore, yeah, anything that's like heavy with breakdowns and shit, a lot of them
It's
boys
that.
you wouldn't think the San Diego Sun would make people like want to play such heavy music, but like they're there, and yeah, we got that in San Diego.
Definitely. It's cool. I I dip my toe in the water as a little bit every once in a while. I'm old now too, so I gotta
like
like,
I'll like I'll
I
pop
gotta
I'll pop in,
like,
like yeah.
I gotta, it's like, come out of Mosh retirement. Hey boys, look out. I'm about to get spin kicked in the fucking
Right,
head
yeah,
by
I'm
a
ready.
juiced up 41-year-old.
Yeah, right. You're like, motherfucker, I've been working out. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you know about man strength? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, them
Yeah,
fucking
like you,
18-year-old kids don't know.
yeah, they don't realize it, like, till like it's, I went to emo night. And speaking of elder emo, I went to emo night. Do you know Mark Aces? He's a mutual friend that I actually met through Adult Science initially and stuff.
Maybe
He was
I'm not sure.
he's an elder emo as well, I guess. And he was DJing, and I was like in the mosh pit at the emo night, and and I was not moshing hard on these kids at all. And somebody like ran into me, and he like bounced off of me, and I was like, oh, this is the this is softer. These guys, I'm not trying to mess anybody up. I'm not trying to put
Like,
it.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
not trying to put some goth kid in the hospital on a Thursday night.
A
So
120-pound little twink goth kid bounces off you, bangs his
yeah,
head on the concrete. Yeah, brother, you got a
I,
case coming.
that's right. I'm not trying to pull that kind of aggression towards me. So I just kind of bounce around the mosh pit and kind of have a good time.
Right? No, but so you mentioned high school. You didn't go to high school in San Diego. You went to high school, if I'm not mistaken, in Truckee, California, right?
In Truckee, yeah, I went to. I grew up like, so we moved from Poway um, when I was in kindergarten, like
Okay.
halfway through my
So you had you
kindergarten.
had you had San Diego roots.
Yeah, I was born in El
Interesting.
Centro. I was born
Oh,
in El
okay.
Centro, so like super East County, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. That's as East County is like. I didn't even know
it
that's still
does-
the county. Yeah.
it's not. And so like and, and so I was born out there, and then we moved to Poway when I was like like young, like five,
Okay.
and then we then I moved from like halfway through kindergarten year, we moved up to Tahoe,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
that
You guys were Tahoe boys too.
so yeah, so we were in Truckee, and yeah, we moved up there, and then I grew up in Truckee, yeah, in Tahoe, like that whole that in the mountains and shit. It's like going like it was definitely like different, and then I didn't move back here till 2007.
So you moved back in 2007. You moved to San Diego, or did you live in LA for a while, or did you just kind of have the connects
I
in
moved
LA?
straight. I moved back to San Diego 2007.
Okay.
So yeah, that's when
How and
yeah.
what and where? How do you get involved in the adult industry then?
So then that was like so I moved back down to San Diego, and I was just like scrolling through the internet looking for uh like just for porn for the girls that I was into. So I stumbled upon Burning Angel,
Burning Angel.
right?
There we go.
And then I found like I discovered, and like I'm just like kind of look it, and this is like it's weird to describe this to people because like websites are so different now, and the
It's a
internet is
different
such
world.
a
Yeah, people.
it's
Yeah,
it's like so I'm like scrolling through this website, and they're like, "What do you mean you're looking through this website?" Because like now it's basically like it's everything's pretty standardized, right? There's a menu
yeah.
bar, and
There's a
you
menu
can
bar.
find
There's three or four main sites. People are doing this and that. This is we're
yeah,
talking. Yeah, you
it's
kids don't
old.
know.
It's just like old internet, like and like not even old internet, kind of like the
Yeah,
middle
in between.
before. Yeah, so like uh they have a street team there. And I knew what street teams were because I'd been to every I'd been like to the first Warp Tour. I was at Warp Tour came through Tahoe. So it stopped in Truckee, basically. It stopped at
Wow.
Boreal. It stopped at like Boreal Ridge, which was it's a ski resort, but it used to be like an old venue. Like the Grateful Dead played there in the '60s. It was kind of
Jesus.
like a kind of like a weird culty kind of stop for bands because it's if you're going from Salt Lake City to Reno to Sacramento, like you need like an in between
Pretty long
for
drives.
summer.
You need, yeah.
Yeah, so like it came like a cult kind of stop off point. And it's like, oh, we'll play at the ski resort and stuff. Like I saw Blink-182 for the first time at Boreal Ski Ridge in '95,
Interesting.
and like that was the like, and there's videos of it. Like if you look up like snowbird or snowboard '95 Blink-182,
Was it? Was it? Is that Snow Jam? Was that the same thing?
it's like Snow Jam. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
something like that. Yeah, it's like the same kind of vibe. Kind of is. It's like it was just like a punk show. It was like a Warp Tour, just a punk show
Like a
at
wind.
the
Yeah, the Winter Warped. Yeah.
yeah, it was like a Winter Warp Tour type thing, and it was like I feel like because Kevin Line, I think he had done that show before, and it was like a pre kind of like, hey, will this work? Like it was kind of the same
Interesting.
setup. It had like there was a snowboard competition, there was a bunch of vendors and punk bands playing, and a mosh pit. Like Guttermouth, Blink-182, and Pennywise. That was the
S-
lineup. Such
Solid
a good lineup.
1995 California punk lineup. There we go.
Like, yeah, that's like
Best
it
gives you
doesn't
get.
get
Yeah.
much better. Let's
Yeah.
remember skate punk
Rancid
than
was.
that.
Yeah. Rancid was on tour, but yeah.
Yeah,
Besides that,
they
yeah.
play exactly. Like they played Boarding for Breast Cancer 2 months before that. So,
Okay, there we go. So
but
you're
yeah, so
familiar with street teams, yeah.
so street teams were like I'd known about it from just being in this like punk music scene and kind of being around it and being in a town that wasn't like it was a small town. We were like like a vacation spot for San Francisco and like Reno and stuff like that, but it was still like a small town. So like getting the word out for other bands was like for new bands or whatever. That was like I was into that, and so I joined the Burning Angel Street team,
Did they
and
they
like
had so they had an official
they
street team
had
at this
one.
point?
They
Okay.
had one, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be this. Like, I'm gonna set this up because, like, I was like, hey, worst case scenario, like, I'll join the street team. I'll meet some of these girls. we hang out, see what see what happens. Hey, like that's all it was. I was like, I can just meet some girls or meet these girls, and like I'm like, hey, they're cool. Like worst case scenario, they're cool hot chicks that I
It's,
get to hang
yeah,
out
I
with.
was gonna say worst case scenario because I mean the whole thing is it was like it was our culture, it's punk rock culture. Like yeah, so
Yeah, so I didn't really like go into it like, oh, I'm totally gonna get fucking laid and blah
no,
blah blah. I'm like,
no,
I was like, hey, if I do, sick.
cool.
But if I don't, like, hey, whatever. It's a cool thing to promote because I liked the the thing of it is too is like punk rock tattooed girls that were naked on the internet, like taking dicks, which was
Pretty good mix.
pretty cool. I
pretty,
was like, yeah,
pretty
I'm into
cool.
that. And so then like I met I was on the street team doing like just like they send you sticker packs and you just kind of like it's kind of unofficial too. It's not really like a like
I
there's
remember the
not meetings.
stickers. It had like the
Yeah, yeah,
silhouette of Joanna or something on it with the yeah
yeah,
pink and black. Yeah, yeah. I saw those stickers
yeah,
everywhere. You were good.
exactly. Yeah, so like I was hustling that shit. So I did a tattoo convention with them. They did Muse Inc. It was like Kat Von D's music festival. That it's in OC. It's still
Yeah,
I don't just
music. I
I
think
think
yeah, it's still. 'Cause I thought it was Travis Barker's festival. Was it originally Cats? Maybe.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. She was it.
Okay.
So it was like it was
Okay.
definitely her. Like it was it started off as her like thing. It was like the
Okay.
LA because that was peak LA
I was
Inc.
gonna say
too.
yeah. This is 2006, 2007, right where
Yeah.
you're talking like yeah,
So
Kat Von D is the queen of the world.
she Joanna did that and then I went and like helped out and I just like was in the booth and like they just had a booth like selling DVDs and sign autographs and stuff. And so I was just hanging out and then the second, it was a 2 day convention. Yeah, so the second day of the convention, she's like, "Yeah, you're cute. You got tattoos and stuff. Would you do porn?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Hey, hey, hey,
I remember
hey."
we would be so hyped. Like I have this memory of you kind of telling me this story the first time outside in the back part of channel 1225 where you're smoking a cig. It's me, you, it's 2.0, and you're telling me that, and we're just like, you're a porn star? And you're like, no, 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 no. Porno actor. Like, I'm not a star. Like, these are
Yeah,
stars. I've
yeah.
just done it a couple times. I dabble. And it was like, that's still the coolest thing ever.
It was wild. Yeah, and then yeah, so like, and then I just kind of did like some stuff here and there, and then it became more regular, like later like it got pretty consistent but never so consistent where it was like I tempted it for it to be my main gig for a little bit but I kind of like I was a little too early as far as like tattooed guys and it was
Yeah.
still like I was still a little too niche to be like totally as wild as that sounds too it's like
No,
people
it's
are like
silly, but I mean, even when like we were like at the LA Pink, the other dude, I mean, yeah, it's like Shawn Michaels and like, James and those kind of people like that, where like these
yeah.
are like traditional looking, normal, like businessmen looking almost motherfuckers, like
Yeah, it was
very weird.
definitely still was not the norm at all. Uh like Tommy Pistol had a half he had some
That guy.
tattoos, but
Yeah, but it
like
was
and he
like
was
a
like
more like MMA tough guy tattoo almost vibe.
oh no, not Tommy Gunn, not Tommy
Oh,
Gunn,
okay.
Tommy Pistol. Now Tommy
Okay.
Pistol is he had a couple tattoos, but like he's an amazing actor. Like he is the probably Tommy Pistol is probably the best, like one of the best actors, period. Like I'm not talking like
Not
in
talking just
just
in that
porn.
industry.
Yo, you look up his reel. His name is Aramis. He goes by both, like Aramis and Tommy or whatever. But he's an amazing actor, an amazing, and so he was like the only other like Burning Angel guy kind of that was around, but he was more of an actor. Like he did like characters. He went like called this crazy as just like a regular kind of like performer guy, or like for lack of a better term, filler.
Yeah, Phil. Yeah, Phil, a penetration tester.
Hey, I'm just like filler. I was just like a kind of a normal guy, like it wasn't like I'm not gonna be the star of no shit. So it's like I'm not
We need
gonna
a
be like
guy to fill the spot because there needs to be a
yeah.
guy here. But people are they're buying it for the girl.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm like, I can show up on time. My everything works down there. Everything's good to go. I got a good attitude. I don't smell like whatever. Like like
Works,
it just.
solid dick.
So yeah, all these things. This is like, but it was just like the tattoos made it like they're like, we'd hire you, but you're covered in tattoos, and I'd be like, okay, I'm like, and now like now porn doesn't even like like exist in that same kind of capacity, but it's really what it is. It's like now it doesn't matter because anybody is like really it's just about how much you hustle.
I
It's
was gonna
like
say, yeah, if you came along like 10 years later, you sure would have made a killing like on your own solo OnlyFan or something, you know?
yeah, like I look there's a couple guys out there that are doing stuff and I'm like I I cannot I'm not taking away from their hustle or their credit. They're still doing their shit, but you're welcome.
Right, like you are a trail. I don't want to say I don't. You don't want to say it. I'll say it. Okay, you're the Rosa Parks of tattooed dong slinging.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. You guys, all of you guys out there with more than one, like a chess piece. I was the
Yeah.
only guy that like there was one other dude that is like what was his name? Rob Rotten. Rob Rotten had a bunch of tattoos, but he had like a bunch of prison tattoos, which are
Okay.
sick, but like
Still
he's like
sick.
sick, but like he was like kind of and he was kind of creepy and kind of undesirable. I think like he was way more niche too. Like so it wasn't like every day. He was not the pop punk. He's crust punk, right?
Yeah,
Like I was
that's crust punk. That's a different market.
yeah, I was so I was more I was yeah, I just a little bit early to it. And then too like it's fine because I met my wife and the
I was
more
gonna
serious
say you
yeah,
met
I
Lucy through
met
this industry. Yeah.
yeah, so and the more serious we got as a relationship, the less serious porn like they became way less important to me. So I was like, hey, and so like I picked one. I picked her
Yeah, I
instead.
could
So
see
it's fine.
that being a thing where it's like, I could spend the weekend with her. I can go spend the weekend with these four women. It's like it might not be a good look for her. If you want to, yeah, I get it. I mean,
Yeah,
she understands. She comes from that world, but
yeah, exactly. So it's like it's not like she was like, you need to stop this. It was just like at a certain point, like I could tell, and then too, again, like I said, I wasn't I was like filler at best. So
yeah,
it's like, so I'm like, I'm not going to be the leading role and all these big getting like checks just thrown at me all this time. So I'm like, if for a hobby that I'm kind of getting paid for, I'll just like defer to not, you
what's
know,
the most
yeah.
you ever made for one scene? 'Cause I remember you kind of
Um,
discussed some money back then. I know the guys you weren't getting paid as well as the girls, but Joanna was trying to help you get some better money. I know.
yeah, like I mean, I think the most I got was like for one scene, maybe. Like, dude, the best money. This is what it was. This there was this girl, Paris Kennedy, homegirl from LA. She had her own website. She would just call me and she would book me herself, like call me direct.
Great.
It would be like just her and maybe a cameraman
Okay.
and like either her house like her she had like a little studio at her house or like a hotel room in and out in less than an hour, $600 in my hand. Like
There we go. That's pretty
that's
good.
those are hooker numbers. That's what I'm
That's
talking
what I was
about,
gonna
man.
say.
that
Yeah,
is
yeah. You're getting called
that
to a hotel room for an hour.
that is
You're a
that and
call
that was
boy.
like that was the best. That was like probably as far as like easy money goes, that's the easiest money I ever made. And that was like again, cool because she was cool. She was like my homie. Like if I saw her tomorrow, I'd be like, "What's up, dude? How you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we were if like because I see some people like they either get too too connected, too gets too many feelings, or they're just too cold. They're just
It's
like
just so
it's
business
like
about it. Yeah.
it's like so business. I'm like, hey guys, like we're we be fucking,
And we can be cool. Like, we can be pals about it.
like so like we can be cool about it. Like so I don't get why so some people can't take it serious. She was one who was just like cool. She was just cool. It was business, but as far as like but it's easy. It was easy. Like, why are we making this a big deal? Why making this hard? Like it's it's already kind of a difficult thing. You just make it easy.
You don't
That
want to be
was
friends
that
with your
was best.
coworkers, you know? Like, yeah, like it's
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like being friends with them, some that sometimes they would just be like they could be a little more than friends and be like, hey, sorry,
we're
can't be.
just doing this.
Don't be. Yeah,
Are you still you and Joanna are still really good friends?
I text her like every day.
Okay. Wonderful.
I
Wonderful.
we talk. I mean, not yeah. Actually, most days I text that bitch. I'm like, what's
One
up? Like,
I
yeah, it's great.
One of my favorite stories of my whole life is she was in town doing she was doing like a show like feature dancing at one of those clubs or something, and I met up with you
Right.
guys and we went to brunch, or we went to
That's
breakfast
right.
at the menu. And it's like, at this point, like, I met her on the set and I think she thought I was just funny. Like, she's like, oh, he's silly, like, let's go hang out with your little buddy. And we go there and eat, and like it's like, so because it's like she's the most normal, coolest regular girl, and she's like telling me, and I'm just like, this girl's a fucking genius. Like, she's like, well, I was waitressing and people would be terrible to me, and then I went and started doing this, and everyone was nice, and it's like, okay, I can do that, or I can, like, people are a lot nicer to me when I start stripping it. And then she goes to pay, and she's like, I got breakfast, and it's just a wad, a wad of money, and I'm just like, this is insane. And then I go there that night, which it's so awkward for me because it's like, this is my friend, you know what I mean? Like that, like I looked
Yep.
at her like,
Yep.
that's my friend, and like she's like, can't even say the words because you two's gonna kick me out. Jam and underpants, like it's, and then like put it in her mouth and like flinging it up, and I'm just like, I remember like I went up to her afterwards, and I'm like, you are one of the greatest performers. Like that is like that, just perform it, like you are Mick Jagger up there. Like I'm just like, God, like what an entertainer, and
She, she amazes me. It's like I still see her now. I see her now. Like now, it's just like everywhere. It's a show. I love it. It's every going to
right,
dinner with her. Yeah,
just
it's
like
fun.
just magnetic, like a 4'11" little nice tiny Jewish lady who just like a switch will flip, and it's like, bro, this is a superstar.
So much fun. It's
And
great having her as a friend.
a business, I mean, like in an industry where there's so much this and that, and people taking advantage of, and this and that, and money stuff. Like she really kind of built her own empire.
Absolutely.
and
Yeah, she did.
and
She
it's like from a business perspective, like it is so respectable.
yeah, it's great. She's great. She's like I take a lot of uh like her business cues. I pay attention. Trust me.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah, no,
definitely do.
yeah, like you
I
were kind of
definitely do.
like, I mean, you were basically her underling, like you were kind of like her right hand. You were her assistant, right?
I was her roadie for a bunch of shows and stuff like that, and then I was never her assistant
Okay.
officially. Never officially. We were just friends. And
Yeah,
like
just
she's friends and yeah, she's just friends that like I would do wild shit for her, like as far as but those are just like, that's shit's for the book, or whatever.
yeah, save it
It's
for the yeah. We got ourselves an autobiography on tape cooking up that we're saving that for. Buy the
yeah,
audio book.
yeah, buy the audiobook, link in the bio, like and
So
subscribe, all that stuff.
so transitioning out of that industry, at some point in the mid 2010s, you become like a fucking chef at some point. How
Yeah,
does this
yeah,
transition happen?
because I like so I stopped doing porn like all the way. Um, and I did I was doing stand up actually for a good bit, like doing hitting the open mics, like hitting them hard, doing the thing, about it, like
I know about
uh
the open mic. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I love the
yeah.
open mics. They
So
don't like guys
hit
like us at the open mics, but yeah.
nah, too positive, way
Too
too
positive,
positive.
too charming, too hit. Like I'd be there and I'd be like, I feel like these guys think I'm like the mean kid from their high school or something like that. Like I'd get that
Dude,
vibe.
I got that. It took
Right, same
some
thing.
guys. Some guys would break. They'd be like, "Who the fuck's this guy? This porn guy's coming up here trying to." And I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm just trying to. I'm barely a porn guy. I'm just using it as an
Right? Yeah.
angle." And and so like some guys, they would finally they break through and they'd be like, "Wait, like this guy's actually not like I'm not
He's
like
kind of
just some.
good.
It's kind of good. Hey, I'm not like but I was doing stand up, having fun with that and stuff, but then also still having like a Joe job where I was just basically doing the same shit I was doing in the Navy, but just like for these corporate daddies that didn't even give a fuck about anything, and I was just like kind of in a rut,
Nice.
and kind of burnt out by it, and then like I got fired from that job, and I was like, ooh, I should probably get a job. And then I was
Figure
like kind of
something
looking
out.
around. I got to get a job because I'd just been married. I'd been married a year. So we just got married. We just moved back down to San Diego. Like all this stuff was going pretty good. And then then I got fired from this job I didn't really like. And I was like, shit. So kind of uh took a couple weeks to kind of maybe figure out what I wanted to do. And I was like, oh, I want to open a bar. And I was like, wait, I don't know how to run a bar. I was like, but I was like, oh, I could just use my GI Bill and go to school. And I was like, oh,
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
so I used
Thanks,
that. I went to
George Bush.
culinary school. Yeah, or not. Well, not quite. GI is more like it's a
Oh,
little,
I thought
little.
I thought George W put that together. I don't fucking know.
He did actually. George W. did. I don't know who. I don't know. The post 9/11 GI Bill, which was what I got. It's like it was good. Like you got paid to go to school basically, and they paid for
Yeah.
all your school. So I went to culinary school. I started working at restaurants around town. The waterfront, it's like the first place
Oh yeah.
worked at. It's down in Little Italy,
Love the
and
waterfront. Great wings.
yeah, great wings. Yeah, I've made thousands of them, and yeah, I
Pretty
just
solid.
started doing that, and then I got my degree and started cooking. Like I got my degree. I started working in like I was working at a dispensary, working at the waterfront, and going to culinary school all at the same time,
Pretty
hustling
busy.
because like pretty busy. So because of all that, um I stopped doing stand up pretty much. I just didn't have time really.
Yeah.
Like
Well, because you
and
got to
I
be hitting
and
those open mics regularly too, and staying sharp.
yeah,
And this, it's just a hassle.
it's a hassle. It's not so much it's all a hassle. It's just the major part about it is it's just like for me, um, I would just be getting shit faced there. I would just be going and drinking. And like now it and I was still drinking then I stopped drinking after like 3 years, but I was still drinking like normally, kind of, but I would go there and I would just be like getting pickled. And like so then it was like appointment drinking because I was like, oh, I got to hit all these mics
I
up.
got,
So I'm
yeah,
going
out
every
there.
night out and I'm getting blasted. And then like I hosted an open mic for a while and I was drinking a lot. And so all that, like, I stopped doing that. That was kind of like one of the other things I'm like, hey, I kind of like mellow out drinking in the like all night and stuff like that. And then just being out late, then waking up hungover, going to work and just sucking.
Yeah, bad time.
So yeah, so that's kind of like probably why I got fired too, because I just like hated work and I would just be there. I'd like go and I remember I would clock in and I'd go take a shit for like an hour.
There we go.
And I'd be like, whatever, fuck them,
Like
like
I don't know why they
yeah,
let me go. I thought I was an asset to this company.
yeah, yeah. And so like I just was miserable there, but I started cooking and it was like that was my creative outlet. It was like, oh, I can do this thing that is also a job, because I
But
need
it's
to pay,
creative.
but it's creative. I get to think. It's like it satisfies all my little ADD needs of being totally chaotic yet structured at the same time, which is
Yeah.
like it's it's hard to describe to people. It's a necessity for me to be like kind of calm in a lot of different ways that I've understood over time now. It's taken me a while to get there. So I went to culinary school, and then I started working at restaurants, and then just now I am a chef. That's like after 10 years later, here we are.
Not only are you a chef, but you are one of the main guys of what I would consider as someone who is consider myself a bit of a burger boy, and I have gone around San Diego, and I was so fucking loyal to Rockies. Like I don't know how like it's like you're in San Diego. I mean, like people are like there's a few burger joints in Rockies, especially like that area we lived in. That was the place. That was the spot. But
Rockies
once
is
Rockies the spot, but then once the Friendly opened, the Friendly kind of took over San Diego as the burger place, like out of fucking nowhere.
it really did. It it works. It's simple, it's good. Brandon came up. with a great burger. Like he didn't like he just knew he had been making them for his friends for so long that it just made sense to just make. He's like, this can't not make money.
Right? Yeah, it's
So
solid.
yeah, and yeah, I got in there 3 years ish almost now ago, and like it's great. It's right in my neighborhood. I live between two of the main spots. And yeah, could skateboard to work and make burgers, listen to music as loud as
Listen
I
whatever you
want to.
want, do whatever you want, no
Yeah.
substitution, so you can tell people to fuck off. Like,
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, especially after coming from like a fine dining world and
or you're
going
just kissing ass. Yeah.
catering, just the customers like, and there is a certain level of like, I have a respect for that for those guys who do that kind of service. I just like fucking don't want to.
No, yeah, like I've done that for years, but then it's like I don't have to do that. You can literally be yourself here. Like,
Yeah, so it's a great spot. It's a good spot. I don't see myself working in a different restaurant, and I don't even say I say group lightly. It's more of a pirate ship with
yeah,
brick and mortars.
I was gonna say, is there four of them or five of them now?
There's four. There's four currently
Okay.
right now, and like we just like now we're it's like it is a pirate ship. It's a bunch of degenerates that have no
Oh,
business
it's fucking yeah, it's
uh
wicked. I love
doing
it.
anything in a kitchen, but then there's like, but that's, if we don't work there, where would we work? And
And
we just happen to make.
it's never bad. Like every time you go, the quality is always consistent. Like, yeah, like these guys might not be the friendliest, my fucking yeah, this and that, but it's like you're getting good food. You don't need that service with a smile
It
bullshit.
so somebody said it's like it's a bunch of low-level criminals making the best burgers in San
Yeah,
Diego.
seriously.
And
So
like, and we're not all, it's like mostly they're not like bad crimes.
not bad crimes, just every
Some
now. Look,
moving
look,
violation here and there.
yeah, look, I've flipped my car off the freeway. I technically have a criminal record. It happens, If I was in San
Yeah,
Diego, I'd be flipping boigas right there with you guys. Last
exactly.
time, last time I went down to, I went to the one on Convoy when you weren't there.
Oh yeah,
Um, I went in there and I was just like, hey, you guys know Brian? Like that's my boy. Like, and I'm just being like, that's my boy. Like, that's it. Like, I'm not trying to get anything. I'm just like, that's my dude. He's not working. Ah, shit. Like, tell him I said what up. That's it. And they're like,
yeah.
kind of like talking. And they're like, all right, we're gonna give you your free food for free. Just like tip us. Well, I'm like, you guys don't have to do that. Don't do it. They're like, oh, we give it to you for free. So I ended up tipping them the total for what the burgers were. But it was very much like, oh, Brian's street team. Let's take care. I'm like, this is a great place. Like, I love that. I'm gonna pay you the same amount either way. Like, but that's some real shit. Like, I appreciated that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's how we like, we take care. Like again, it's our pirate ship, so we
Yeah,
get to and it's like in a normal setting, that's like stealing from the owner. But the owner said,
yeah.
"Hey, if your friend's here and you hook him up," and
Take
then
care of them.
he's
Take
cool
care
with
of
it.
them.
Yeah,
And
it's the
honestly,
same.
it works
So
its way. Like that's how you build a community. Like when I talk to people, I tell them like, you guys gotta go to the friendly. You gotta do this. Now it's like, and I'm in town. It's like I go out of my way. Like I'll go to the PB one regularly, and it's like I'm just like, let me get a fucking shit kicker. Let me get this. Like let my kids
I
want some
love it.
fries. I grab some fries. I'm gonna grab a burrito from the Vallartas. I'm also gonna here and grab burgers for the family. Like
I love it.
that's the spot. Moving on. Before we get all done here, let's talk about what we came here to talk about. You're a marathon runner now.
That's true. That is true. That's my I
Is that
guess
your
that's
new
my
drug?
gig now. It's
Yeah,
kind of it's weird. It didn't start. It's Joanna's fault first and foremost.
of
This
course.
this little lady, she not necessarily an athlete.
I was gonna say I can't really see her running like that. Like, okay, but
She's not what I would consider a traditional athlete. That being said, so she ran the New York Marathon in 2022. Wait, 21, 22,
okay,
22.
okay,
Yeah, because it's hard, like, 'cause it's at the end of the year, so it's like throws me off.
yeah. And
Anyway,
post pandemic, all the years are all off. Who
and those
knows?
years kind of like blend together.
It's
Yeah,
all a
it's like
blend. Yeah, 20 to
yeah.
22 are just the same shit.
So she ran the marathon, and I was like, damn. I was like, well, I had been like just hearsaying around with around the group chats, I'd fucking run a marathon if I could tomorrow, like just talking shit.
Yeah.
And so I saw her do it and I was like, well, I probably should sign up for the rock and roll marathon in the neighborhood, right? Because it runs literally a block by
Like
my house, both
is that
both
a
by
full one or
friendlies.
is it like a half or a 10 or something?
They have all of them. They
Okay.
you can do the whole thing. So I was like, I'm doing the full because like why not? And so I started training for that, and then and I was like, right. And then right after Joanna finished, I told her I was like, "Hey, I'm training for this marathon. I'm like running like I'm because you inspired me and stuff." She's like, "Oh, that's awesome." She's like, "You should do the New York Marathon for me or with me." And I was like, "Okay." And I thought, a marathon like I thought it was just like the rock and roll marathon. You just sign up, then you show
Yeah,
up,
you figured
right?
that's it. No, no, it's not.
Yeah. It's not quite that. It's not quite that kind of party there. The New York Marathon is quite a prestigious event. Turns out, it's the largest sporting event in the world.
Interesting.
Period. It is the largest sporting event. It is the largest sporting event in which participants on the professional and the amateur level compete on the same course at the exact same time. So that is like it's kind of like it is the great equalizer as
Because there's
far as
like
like
the actual like marathon guys there doing it as well, and then it's like everyone else.
yeah, same. The dude that ran it in 2.5 hours is the same as the 97-year-old woman that ran it in seven.
Damn,
So
okay.
it's the same course. It's all of the same rules per se. It's like yeah, all the same.
Just
Everything's on the same playing field.
yeah, we're all following the same streets.
Yeah, it's a very it's in that regards, it's like you don't like I can't play pickup ball with LeBron or anything
No,
like that. Me and it's like you
we
can't
could try.
you could try.
Good luck
Yeah.
finding
You
him.
you
Yeah, they're
might
they're on it.
yeah. So there's like all of these things about New York Marathon are like super special. And so therefore not easy to get in.
So how do you
So
get in? You have to raise money.
so there's you can get into a lottery and you can get just like a normal way like a normal like lottery system, but that's good luck. It's a lottery. There's lots of people in there. Or you can get on a fundraising team, is which what Joanna roped me into doing. And which
There we go. Okay.
I honestly I had no uh I did not know about any. I had none. I was totally oblivious to all of this. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, the fun. Like I had a friend. I have a friend that does AIDS life cycle. My buddy Rob. He raises a lot of money for that, and he's been doing that for years. And so I knew about like these distance runners. I thought that like Rob was like the only one doing it. Really, and he was the only person that I knew that did it. So I knew that it was a thing to do. And so she told me about it. I was like, okay, cool. I'll get on the fundraising team. I was like, I got an Instagram.
Like
I could post a
I'll
link.
thirst trap some fools into
I'll
fucking donate
thirst.
some
Yeah.
money.
And so so we started. So it's the Carol M. Baldwin Breast Cancer Research Foundation is
Okay.
what I raise money for, and it is it Carol M. Baldwin is the Baldwin brothers' mom.
Oh,
She was a breast cancer survivor. She got breast cancer when she was 63 in the 80s. She went through treatment, went into remission, survived it, and she ended up living till her 97th birthday.
damn. Okay.
She lived into her 90s. Don't quote me on the number, but yeah, she lived like, uh,
Jamie, pull up.
like
Yeah, pull her up right now. Yeah.
yeah, pull that up, pull that data. So
Pull
like,
that down for me, Jamie.
super amazing woman. Started breast cancer fund 18 years ago, and then we just raised our millionth dollar last year.
Oh,
As
go.
far as
Okay.
like a team goes, and like our team's kind of building now. It's like these last couple of years. I this is will be my last. This is my third season, I guess you could say, because fundraising. Because I did it the
Okay.
first 2 years for New York City, because that was like an amazing chance to do that. So I'm not doing New York City this year. It's because I'm going to Tokyo. So
Okay.
I had to.
Okay.
So I had to.
So we're you're raising
So
money
this
for
year
the
I'm changing it up. Yeah.
Okay, okay, but still raising money for the same team.
Same team. That's what's great about it. It's like our team like too. I like got to pick where I was like, oh, I could do a marathon in Tokyo. I'm like, cool, I could do that. It's the same kind of idea, same raising money for breast cancer, same fun, same like it's
And
a
you get to go to Tokyo.
and I get to go to Tokyo, run the marathon there. It's like a guaranteed spot at the race. I just got to show up.
Okay,
So like
okay.
that's what I do, man. So like I
And
took
they
like
can
that's what,
click. You're gonna send me that link, and you guys can donate money
yeah,
there, and don't
that's
expect
right.
any pictures in exchange or anything like that. You got to
Hey,
go find those
there's
on the
a
internet. You donate enough,
there's a
baby.
tier there's a tier system for everything, you know.
There we go.
Like you can get to those upper echelons. Hey, you get the if we get into like certain amount of figures. Hey, I got no shame in my game. I'll whore myself out graciously.
Pulling out peen for a price. That's
That's right.
fair. Awesome. So
Absolutely.
everyone watching, go click on the thing, donate your money. You're going to be supporting good people that are, most importantly, these people are also working to corrupt conservative flyover state America. And we need more of that. So please support them, support Joanna, support these people, because I'm on board for that. I
Oh
think last
yeah,
time you did New York, I think I tossed you like 10, $20 something. I was like, hell yeah, Brian.
dude.
But
Every
get everybody you
every
know did.
little bit, everybody little bit counts. It's crazy. Like once you do a marathon, you get really good at breaking shit down into just little steps. It's like
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
it's it because everybody's like, it's not a marathon, it's not a race, it's a marathon, and I'm like, you're right. So let's take
It's
our time.
literally a marathon. Let's take
And
our time.
so I one step at a time, just keep going there, just keep going. That's all you have to do is just keep going. That's it. That's
Beautiful
easy.
life lesson. Brian, Street Team, Mr. Street Team, I want to thank you. This is going to be, I've recorded a few already, but this is going to be the first official episode because once I saw your post,
Awesome.
I was like, I should have the one with Brian be first because I know it's going to be like the most comfortable one. Like it's going to be the biggest vibe. Like,
This-
let's go with Brian first. So
Hell yeah, dude.
when
I'm
this
so
is
glad to be
out,
it.
I'll send over to you and all that. But I want to thank everyone for checking out the first episode of the Robbcast, a podcast on the Emo Kids Anonymous podcast network, owned by MSNBC. These are all companies I've created, along with, and we're sponsored by the Pop Punk Prize Picks. Make your bets today on who the next band that be canceled. Before we leave, since this is a music-centered thing in this general world in general, give me your 5 favorite fucking bands, Brian,
My 5 favorite bands. Oh,
of your life. Of your life. I mean,
damn, of my life. Blink 182.
of
Uh,
course.
that's got to be top tier, right? Damn. It's always like and AFI, East Bay Hardcore
I was
for
gonna say,
life.
yeah. You
That
would have been around the
and then like every iteration after was just like a cool. I just those boys are just so talented and so
Davies. Yeah, I've had a few posts go viral where basically the gist is like every dude wanted to bang Davey Havoc in 2003. Like Davey
that's
Havoc had every dude questioning shit.
they're like, hey, dude, like
Pretty
okay,
hot
like
dude,
is this dick all the way soft or is it
right?
all the
Like,
way
yeah.
hard?
Well, he's got like very feminine features, like his hair. Like I like that's a beautiful man, but like
Yeah.
I'm not gay, but
So
like that doesn't count. Yeah, like that's
yeah,
kind of
so
like I don't know.
yeah, so Blink 182, AFI, like it's like a wedding dress, like something old, something new, something
Something new.
borrowed, something
Yeah, right.
so like
Trying to have some, trying
I
to
do
almost some
like
sort of cooler man.
yeah, because dude, like I like a lot of like old stuff. Like I uh like the Kinks and Supertramp are like two of my like favorite bands because they're so punk rock, but like not really, and they're
Yeah,
old '70s band. Like, but the Kinks and I
super trip.
I think
Okay,
Kinks and Supertramp are right there neck and neck,
okay.
and then like I don't know. I see. I always like think I'm gonna be like thinking of something later. I'm like, oh, I should have
You're
said that.
fucking text me now. You're like, God damn it.
Whatever. And then like I don't know. Probably like I really like. I guess I gotta get probably Pierce the Veil. I gotta throw them up
Oh,
there because
oh,
it's
fucking
like
San Diego boys.
like dude, that's really and like because they are so talented. So and this the musicianship that they
Oh, they
put into
rip.
their live shows too. They switch guitars every song.
Yeah,
Like
they rip. Vic.
that's you. It's like they switch guitars every song. If I don't know how other like that's the best way I can do like what is so great about them and how their attention they switch guitars every song in their live set. That's that's enough for me. I don't know.
I remember one time we were having a party at your house, and Vic came to drop off or pick up or get. We had a friend Amanda who was like dated him or something like that, and Vic was downstairs at your building, and like a bunch of like Kevin and just those guys like all wanted to just get like a look at Vic. It's like he's like 3 years older than us, but it's like this is the rock star. It's like I'm like guys, you guys are gonna go
Yeah,
fucking bother that guy? Like
I
leave him
know,
alone.
right?
Like
It's
you want to think like we're homies. You guys are treating him like he's fucking Bruce Springsteen or something.
yeah, right. Yeah, this it's but yeah, that's probably like yeah, like Blink, AFI, the Kinks,
Supertramp, Kinks,
Supertramp, and then
JT.
and Pierce the Veil. Because
Hell of
like
a list.
yeah, and that's and then there's like and it really depends on like the day, like the what I'm into. Like right now, dude, like I really I'm like Knocked Loose, Turnstile, uh
Turnstile
Mind
rips, yeah.
Force, and Koyo are like my favorite bands.
Okay,
Like those
okay.
are those are like way harder. Those are way heavier, and they're like fun. They're
The
like it's
heavy
like
wave
those are like
is a lot better and a lot more fun now.
it's more it's catchier. It's just
Yes.
it's like it's more like I mean like it's way more two-step parts than breakdown parts.
Yeah, like
And
we can have some fun here. We can vibe. We don't have to just hit each other. Like let's have some hooks.
yeah,
Like I mean,
yeah,
shit.
exactly.
I
So
mean, Knock
that's
Loose is on like fucking Jimmy Kimmel, and Turnstile is like Grammy nominated and stuff like that. Like these bands are coming up.
yeah, and then like I like Koyo is a band that like that is going to be they're touring with Newfound Glory this year. I saw
Damn.
they're
Okay.
going to be a band that is everybody's favorite band, and like at the end of summer, I
How do
called
I
it.
spell this? I'm checking them out right now. Koyo. Is
K
that it?
Koyo. They're from Long Island, I think.
Okay.
They're great. They're and it's like literally they will be everybody's like in 2 years. That's good. Like they're good. They good
Wow.
songwriting, and like so it's like that's now. That's like
It's
so
Long
that's why
Island people music. Yeah. Okay.
yeah my so my list is forever evolving. But that's like so like yeah. As you ask me like all the time, I'm like, I don't know. But
You're
like
like,
right
all
now,
right, but
like
right
yeah,
now, so go
that's what
listen
it
to
is. And then
Koyo.
and yeah,
And
and then Kendrick Lamar too, as always. My namesake. I tell
as
people
yeah,
he's my cousin.
I actually I was trained to be a luchador, and I hung out with the other Brian Kendrick a couple times, and I just always wanted to be like,
Nice.
I know a different Brian. You guys
You
work
know
in
the
similar kind of industries. The other one is he called himself the Brian Kendrick, but it's like no, like there's one fucking Brian Kendrick, and it's Street Team, brother. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Anyways, I'm gonna let you get out here. Thank you. Fucking love you,
Thank
buddy.
you.
I'm gonna
Love
see
you
you
too,
soon. I'm gonna
brother.
text you the next time I'm in town.
Hell yeah, man. I'll